Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today I have quite the treat for you guys. Yes, right here, we are going to be taking a look at all of the Kaisers that are going to be dropping tonight at, funny story, either 8 or 9 p.m. So I get on the website just now just to make sure I'm telling you guys the right time. And up at the top of the website, it says the new Kaisers are dropping at 9 p.m. And then I look at my clock and it's like 5:30. And I'm like, okay. And then I look and they have like this little like digital clock counting down. But if I add up the time left to what time it actually is, that actually added up to 8 o'clock. So it's either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So I'm actually going to upload this video at 8 p.m. and you may have to wait another hour if you're watching this right as it debuts at 8 p.m. But nonetheless, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight, all these Kaisers are dropping, and not just these. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes here, but we're looking at 8 knives total today. Now, what I'm going to do, I know with Kaiser, some of them tend to sell out a lot quicker than others, and it's like a rat race to get the one you want. So what I'm going to do is show all of them to you today in this video, and then I will be making some individual reviews for some of these that I feel need their own review. But I have carried a couple of these. I've had these for a few days now, so I've been able to get them all in hand, been able to check them out, play with them, carry them, do all the things I like to do with them. And I have a pretty good idea of all these. And then, like I said, for some of these, there'll be some other full reviews probably over the next week or 2 weeks. So with that being said, let's get this show on the road. And we're going to break it into 3 categories. So there's some Kaiser fixed blades. There's some new Kaiser variants that are absolutely amazing. And then there's some brand new models that are also equally amazing, or at least 2 of them I'm in love with. Another one is pretty solid. So let's get into this, and let's start with the fixed blades. We're just going to go one at a time, talk about some specs, tell you what I think about it in a nutshell, and move on because it's probably going to be a decent little video in terms of length. First one up is a variable. Does this look familiar? It is a variable designed by Dirk Pinkerton, but this is the variable claw. Little different. Before this, there was the variable Warncliffe, which I gotta say, I probably do prefer the variable Warncliffe just for me because I find it to be a little more useful for true EDC. This is definitely more primarily for just like self-defense, kind of in those like, oh crap moments. But what you have here is an overall length of 4.76 inches, a blade length at 3.39 inches, but obviously you have a lot less of a cutting edge. I'd say the cutting edge is actually closer to like 2.5, 2.7 inches, something like that. Linen micarta on the handle, 59 bucks. 59 bucks for this guy. So it's really not a bad piece if you're into like, you know, certain types of self-defense, and it really does feel good in the hand in terms of like what it is and how you would use it. And there is some ED use in terms of just like package opening and stuff like that. And it just looks pretty cool. So the actual piece itself, I think is very nice, very much Dirk Pinkerton, and is pretty cool. The sheath it comes with is okay. It's not the best Kaiser sheath they've ever come out with, but it does work. It's going to carry the actual knife a little crooked. I can't really get it to go straight, but I'm sure a lot of that has to do with just the design of the blade. But it does work. It does hold the knife in there very well, and it is, you know, got the necklace tie on, whatever, paracord. I think that's what it is. Yeah, paracord for kind of like a neck knife, or you could just, you know, throw it in a bag, or, you know, probably put it in your pocket somehow. But yeah, that is the variable claw. Very, very interesting little piece there, and yeah. Definitely has some uses for some people. Next up, we got one more fixed blade, and I gotta say, this one's really cool. But this here is the Metaprazol, and it is an absolute warlord of a fixed blade. This thing, okay, so if I'm grading this thing on just aesthetics, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 all day, every day. I love the design of this knife. Now, granted, it's huge. We're looking at an overall length of 10.83 inches, a blade length at 5.59 inches, and a handle length at 5.24 inches. D2 steel on this one, and the variable claw was 154 cm, in case you were wondering. But yeah, 9.56 ounces for the knife. So, you know, this is a big slab of steel, so you knew it was going to be expensive. Designed by, Alikanov, I believe. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. But yes, Alikanov Adil, and a price of 79 bucks. So this is an amazing fixed blade. I really do like it. Would I carry this every day? Truly, I mean, it's not really an everyday carry knife. This is definitely aimed more towards tactical or outdoor survival. If I had to put it in a category for my own personal use, this could be like a fun survival knife to keep on hand and you know, just have in case you ever needed it, I guess. It could also just be a really cool collector's piece for people that like fixed blades. To carry this is not like, I mean, it's 10 ounces. So, and then the sheath probably adds a couple ounces. So you're probably looking at, you know, probably about 12 ounces with the sheath. But it's a very, very nice sheath. Really, really nice. Holds it in extremely well. It's got a nice clip back here for belt carry. Or you probably could just like slide this into like your jeans and carry it like that too. So, yeah, I really do like the sheath, and I really am in love with this fixed blade. You know, obviously I don't have a lot of uses for a fixed blade this big on my day-to-day, but it is still a really, really cool knife. Incredible ergos. This is contoured micarta, and as you can see, there's a steel pommel down here, which probably adds to the tactical survival aspect of it. But yeah, more of that amazing Kaiser micarta, fully contoured. Ergos are really, really good, and this is the spot right here. This is how you carry or hold this knife in hand. It feels so good. Or you could, of course, just do kind of like the hammer grip. But yeah, really, really cool looking fixed blade. Has all the lines, a lot of sharpened edge, and just a really, really good looker, and one that I'm sure you could probably cut a lot of things with, including like a tree. You could probably cut a small tree down with this. Very, very cool knife come out of Kaiser, the Metaprazol. Now, let's get in to the true EDCs, the smaller guys. Let's take a look at the new Kaiser variants. And first up here is the Kaiser Assassin. Now, what we have here is what makes this kind of the new variant. You can probably see it here. This is carbon fiber laminated G10. But this is not just any carbon fiber laminated G10. Before we get into this, let's the specs real quick. We're looking at like 7.24 inches, 3.03 inch blade length, a 4.21 inch handle length, 154 cm steel on the blade, 3.39 ounces, and $79. So yeah, 79 bucks. Yeah, hard to complain for that. No issues with the price. But look at this carbon fiber. So what they did here, obviously it kind of looks like regular carbon fiber, but what really makes this different is this very unique wavy texture that you really, I think you can kind of see it there. You kind of see like like you feel the weave of the carbon fiber, and it's really, really cool in the light. It really reflects light cool in a really cool way. It's not just like your super flat carbon fiber laminated G10. This is very different. It's one that I don't know if this video is going to do it justice, to be honest, because you can't really, it's something you kind of have to feel and see in person. But it is a really, really cool material, especially for more of a budget-based material. I'm really digging it. And the action on this, I feel like the action on this Assassin is a little better than the only other variant I've handled, which was the micarta version. I feel like the detent is a little more pronounced. It's a little more there. And I really, really like that. I really hope they come out with this version in the Assassin XL. I personally, if you guys have watched my channel before, you probably know, I always usually like the bigger knives, and I definitely prefer the Assassin XL. The Assassin is a fantastic knife. If you like smaller knives with a 3-inch blade length, 100% worth checking out. But the Assassin XL was just like perfect for me. Like, oh, it was absolutely perfect. So I really hope they do the XL version of this, because this is a really, really nice carbon fiber laminated G10. Probably the best carbon fiber laminated G10 ever come across here in the new version of the Assassin. Next up here, we have a couple higher end pieces that are both two of probably my top 5 favorite Kaisers ever made in terms of just the models. And we'll bring this one out first. This is the Kaiser XL. Now, what we have here is a 7.48 inch overall length, a 3.27 inch blade length with a 4.2 inch handle length, S35 VN on the steel for this blade. We're looking at 3.74 ounces and 149 bucks. Now, what makes this a unique variant? You probably already know. You can probably see it right here. It's this titanium handle that has that the frosted finish on it, kind of like it's just super cold outside and it froze over frosted finish. Really, really cool. What I really want to do with this, and I'm just gonna have to, is I want to anodize these scales, because I think the finish that's on here is going to make for a really cool appearance when it's anodized. I'm thinking like a green. I'm thinking like some type of like emerald green anodized would be super sick on this. And down here, you see inside there, all of the internal milling, a lot of internal milling. There was a lot of weight taken out of this handle. So really love that extra time and attention to detail and overall just carrying pleasure with that little bit of weight gone. And the Kaiser Original XL still, oh man, I love this knife in the hand. It feels so good. Looks fantastic. Doesn't have too much going on. Just a very clean, basic, good-looking, fidget-friendly knife. Really can't go wrong with it. Love this pocket clip. Kind of I think it's a milled bent over clip is probably what this would be. But yeah, a little wider than your average pocket clip, so you don't feel it quite as much in the hand. Carries exceptionally well. Super, super deep, as you can see all the way up there. So you're only going to see about this much of the knife coming out of the pocket. It's easily one of my favorite Kaisers of all time, the Original XL. Now in frosted titanium for $149. Not too bad. Last one. I saved the best for last in terms of the new variants, because this handle material on this Kaiser Drop Bear is probably my favorite dark matter yet. What you have here is the Kaiser Drop Bear, and of course you got the 7.17 inch overall length, 2.95 inch blade length, 4.2 inch handle length with a blade material of S35 VN as well on this bad boy. 3.39 ounces, 169 bucks for this one. It's a little more up there, but that is because you are also, you're buying American-made handle material. This is coming from Fat Carbon in the United States. And this here is the Medusa Dark Matter. Now, I need to put some mineral oil. I haven't done that yet, but this is incredible dark matter. It has a purple and a very, very nice shade of kind of like a bluish green mixed in with it. You know, they call it Medusa, but it also kind of reminds me of like the Joker theme from Batman. It's got just enough, maybe not quite the same shade of green, but with the purple and the bluish green playing together in that dark matter. Oh, I am in love with this. This is my favorite drop bear to date. The action is just as good as any drop bear. Super, super smooth and fidgety with that amazing clutch lock. Everything about this is just as good as it always has been. It's just a little more premium now with that S35 and this incredible, incredible dark matter. I want to see more color combos like this. I really, really like this color combo. And I really like the fact that there really is no flaws. I know you're seeing some things on here that kind of look like flaws. What that is certain parts of the material, because this feels like perfectly smooth. Absolutely perfectly smooth. And most of the time, pretty much all the time, when there's true flaws or pieces missing, you feel that. And this is glassy flat. So it's just certain parts of the material that look like there's a flaw in it. But this thing is incredible. Love this drop bear. This is probably going to be the first one that sells out. If I had to guess, this would probably be the first knife from the drop that sells out. And rightfully so. You got your nice milled bent over deep carry clip that has enough room to get through the hem just fine. And of course, it's going to carry nice and low, just like so. It's the drop bear, guys. And oh, it has me feeling a certain way. Love, love, love this version of the drop bear. And now we are getting into the brand new models, the new designs for November or December. Gosh, December. The year has flown by. Now, we're not going to do full reviews. We're just going to do quick overviews of each one, and there'll be some full reviews coming. First one up here is the Kaiser Coup. Now, this one here, I I haven't carried this one yet. The other two you're about to see, I have carried. This is a very unique design, very different. We are looking at an overall length of 7.56 inches, blade length at 3.19 inches, 154 cm on the blade steel, drop point style blade, linen micarta on the scales with a 4.37 inch handle length, 3 ounces, designed by Bryce Markle Amero and Roman Worthy, and a price of $76. So also worth noting, the button lock here has the Trek lock, so slightly more secure lockup with the full plunge of the button going through the bottom of the blade. So that's really nice. This is designed to be the ultimate gentleman's knife. Like the ultimate gentleman's knife is what it said. And this is my thing with this. I just don't know if I consider this a gentleman's knife. If you guys have seen my videos on gentleman's knives before, I look at gentleman's knives to be something different than this. For me, this is still a decent knife. I mean, it has the Kaiser action, very, very smooth. Trek lock is nice. Middle finger flicking's good. It carries super deep, but then it has like this thing here. I don't really, it's just like a really big lanyard hole. I just don't think I would consider this a gentleman's knife. Like, not at all. And I don't mean that in a bad way. The complete personal preference here, or at least, personal opinion, I guess. Just not a gentleman's knife to me. But it's a Kaiser, and just about any Kaiser, you're going to get that quality. You're going to get a good action. It all comes down to, your personal preference of design and aesthetics. And in terms of ergos, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not bad. Carries okay in the pocket. I did put it in my pocket. I just actually carry it because I was curious as to just how much I felt or noticed this, which I didn't much at all. And it carries like basically completely deep carry, except, that lanyard hole thing there you're seeing. But yeah, very, very interesting piece. The Kaiser Coup. Let me know what you guys think of this. And let me know if you think it's a gentleman's knife. I just don't see it as a gentleman's knife personally. But yeah, nice size blade and another fidgety button lock. Now the next two are the ones that really kind of got my attention. One, actually I'm loving both of these two. One is under $100, one is over $100. Let's take a look at the one under $100 first. This is the Kaiser Dogfish, and it's actually just under $100 by $1. But what we have here is an overall length of 7.44 inches, a blade length coming in at 3.15 inches, blade material of 154 cm, drop point style blade. We have a handle length of 4.29 inches, aluminum handle with all sorts of detail going on here. We'll talk about that in just a second, in a little, because I do plan on doing a full review of this because I want to carry it more. 3.39 ounces, designed by Caleb Waldman, and a price of $99. This thing I was not expecting to like as much as I did. I saw pictures of it before it got to me, and I thought, okay, it's another Kaiser, so I'm sure it's going to be decent, but I didn't think I would really, kind of like the Doberman. I wasn't sure just how much I was going to love it until I handled it at a blade show and actually fell in love with it. This is really, really good. Like, really good. First of all, the ergos. There's this little choilish area here. And man, oh man, does that feel good in my hand. Like, all wrapped up. Kind of has some Vero vibes to me. Let me know if you agree, but I kind of get some very vague Vero vibes. And it's a really good thing. Vero Engineering is one of the most amazing designers out there, and Joseph Vero making incredible knives. But yeah, I just get some Vero vibes. I think the shape of the cutout, and then just that really clean drop point. Yeah, I get a little of it. But the blade is amazing. Haven't done an edge reading yet. I'll save that for the review. And but this handle here, this handle is where you're paying the $100, because the milling on this Doppler radar, or like, it's actually a swirl. Because if you see, it starts there and just keeps going and going and going and going. Really, really cool level of detail here. And as you see, left or right hand carry with that milled clip, nice and flat, which feels really good in the hand. And of course, being reversible and still looking this clean. I love it, guys. I love what Kaiser's doing with this detail and giving lefties and righties good options and making it so clean in the transition down here too. That filler piece is awesome. And how that works is there's just one screw and it screws all the way through into this piece. So then you can just swap them around. Love this knife. Like really, really digging it. Got a lot of milling in there as well for some weight reduction. And then it's super fidgety. Middle finger flick is really good. It is absolutely reach around approved. And it's actually really good to do the front flip with. This is actually a really enjoyable front flipping knife. A lot of it has to do because of that clip. Gives you a lot of good real estate to hold on to kick that blade out. Really, really like that. And of course, just the regular flipper is really good, but kind of like a Vero and even the Kaiser Doberman, it does have a very, very minimal flipper, but really good jimping back there. So it's really easy to just flip that blade out. Pretty hard to fail. Once you get this thing down, it's a very, very fidgety knife. Probably the most fidget-friendly knife of all the knives in this video you're seeing today. And I think a great design. Really, really great design. Feels awesome in hand. And yeah, really, really pleasantly surprised with this. And I will do some other type of review on it. I know I just talked a lot about it. But there's probably a little more things I can really come to enjoy and let you guys know about that one. Last up, this one here is none other than the Kaiser Sparrow, but this is the premium version. Now, what we're looking at here is 7.6 inches with a blade, an overall length of 7.6 inches, with a blade length coming in at 3.27 inches, blade thickness at 120 thousandths, S35 VN steel, as you see with pretty much all premium Kaisers these days. Got that unique sheep's foot blade from my good buddy that we'll talk about here in just a second. Handle length coming in at 4.33 inches, titanium handle material with a really nice frame lock. There's some things about this knife that kind of remind me of a Chris Reeve knife, and don't get carried away. Don't nail me to the cross yet. Let me explain myself later. 4 ounces in overall in total weight, and you also have that right and left hand carry with that awesome filler in there that really just helps make this knife look so good on the show side, while also giving the lefties a little bit of love, even though I know the frame lock still kind of makes things a little more complicated for you. It's still nice to be able to reverse that clip. Designed by my buddy Vince Rizzo. If you guys don't know about him, he is a knife maker living in the Midwest, I believe, Missouri. I've met him a few times now at blade shows. We talk a lot on Instagram. Just a hell of a good dude. Really awesome knife maker. And knife maker. He designs knives and he makes knives. He makes incredible fixed blades. Makes some really cool stuff. So be sure to check him out on Instagram. But this guy's coming in at $159, which again, any premium Kaiser for $159, from what I've seen this year, is arguably the best value in the industry right now. In terms of a knife in that price range. You look at other knives for $150, most knives are not going to be $150 getting the things that Kaiser offers in their knives. So yeah, really, really good pricing on this. And this knife is, oh man, this flipper, fantastic. Just yesterday, I was talking again about how a little bit of pressure on the lock bar can make a knife hard to flip open. Well, here's all the pressure on it. Boom, it flips open easy. I'll even do it. I'll try and do it there. See how my finger's white because I'm putting pressure on it? Flips right out. So it's very possible to put significant pressure on a lock bar of a frame lock, and you can still easily flip that blade out. So there's the proof on that. And the middle finger flick on this knife is so stinking satisfying. Very, very smooth. You wouldn't think a blade cut out of this shape would be that enjoyable to middle finger flick just because there's roundness, but then there's so much flatness and kind of like an awkward angle up there that your middle finger's pushing into. No, it's butter. It's so good. And the edge on this knife is fantastic. I actually used this today, and I want to talk about the finishing on this titanium because obviously, that's where I get a lot of the Chris Reeve vibes from this, because it has a really heavy kind of like, what was it called? It's like a sand wash finish or sand blasted finish or glass, whatever blasted finish on the titanium that really is reminiscent to a Chris Reeve. And today I had this in my pocket. I was walking out of my office into the production floor, and I like was walking in a hurry, and I clipped my hip on the side of a door, and I clipped it so much I took like chunks of paint. I felt it hit the clip, and I was like, oh, son of a, pulled the knife out, and I saw all these paint chips right around here on the clip, and I was like, oh, I just ruined this clip. Like, if it's not bent, it's like marred and scratched all up. And I wiped it off, and you can just kind of see right there, those little nicks right there, that's where the impact happened. But I'm telling you guys, if you could have seen how much crap and crud was scraped off onto this area and how hard I hit it, like, I can't believe how good it looks after I did that. So really nice, durable finish on this guy. And yeah, it just looks fantastic. This is bigger than the other Kaiser Sparrow. I don't have one within arm's reach of me right now, but the other Kaiser Sparrow had a 3-inch blade. I believe it might have been just under 3 inches. So we're looking at about a quarter to probably, a little over a 1/4 inch extra of cutting length at 3.27 inches on this guy. And just a really good overall length. We'll actually do a quick little size comparison on this one. I know we're kind of running at 25 minutes, but this is a cool one, and I think this will be another one of the ones that sell out relatively quick. So there it is with the Kaiser Conspirator, and here's the Vosteed Raccoon. I'm just kind of grabbing anything right now. But as you can see, really nice comparison with the Vosteed Raccoon there. So yeah, really good size knife, and definitely one of my favorite from the Kaiser drops of this month. And really, as you guys have seen, I really do like most of them. They're all good. I just have my personal preferences, but this Sparrow, this Dogfish, this Drop Bear, so stinking good. This original XL, phenomenal. Yeah, there is some really good stuff up for grabs tonight, guys. Everything is going to be linked below, as it always is. When you use my links and buy from my links, it supports my channel. I get a small cut, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I also just appreciate you guys tuning in to watch my channel. I love doing this. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we went long, but I hope you guys got to see everything you wanted to see. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below and just what you think of this drop. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and until the next one, I'm out.